to the community loan scheme. So we have Sam come and talk to that. And Sam, you were looking at moving the recommendation with a different question, Steve. Yeah. That's what everyone says.
Good morning. Any questions?
Okay, I'll take it as read, and Sam's got a question.
Cool. Thanks, Sam. So just on this, you've talked about the ability for the club to repay.
Yep.
So you're obviously taking quite a conservative approach. I've had some correspondence with them sort of in the last 24 hours where they've talked about the approach they've taken is quite conservative as well. So
Let's see.
the 40 grand loan will basically minimise, I guess, their reserves. But at the same time, if they were able to have a slightly a bit more, there'll be additional savings for them, which means they might be able to repay it quicker. Do you guys have a view on the sort of conservative approach that was taken? Or?
To our assessment?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think it explains in the matrix kind of where the finance unit took it, and I went with them on that, which was that they have cash flow, sorry for the mess of papers, they've got kind of annual estimated cash flow from the previous few years of financial statements of around about $7,000, and the repayments on the 40k loan is about 5.5. So we're leaving them a little bit of buffer there. So as you say, an increase from 40 to say 50,000 would give them a bit more of a buffer in this project and some comfort. If they don't need that, I'm sure they'd be happy to repay it early, and that would work. If they did need it, then it would put a little bit more financial pressure over the next few years as they repay, but not beyond what's conceivable for repayment.
So what would be the, like in your, I guess, professional assessment, the maximum you would go to? So there's a recommendation there, but what would the level of comfort be from the organisation in terms of how high, if we were to change that number, it could go?
Yeah, that's a
Might be a
tricky
question
one
for
to do on
John,
the
even
fly.
potentially.
I feel that 40 was the spot that we felt would not put them under a burden that they couldn't handle, and be enough for them to successfully complete their project. But I wouldn't want to go higher than 50 as a staff recommendation.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, because they have had that $100,000 loan in the past.
They have, yeah, they've got a good track record and they're a stable club.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, can I just signal then that I'm happy to move that subject to changing it to 50,000?
You can move 50. And Tim's happy to second. No, any question?
If it was 50,000, would that be over 8 years?
That's as it stands at the moment. Yeah.
If it was 50,000, would it be over 8 years rather than say 10? Which is
Fine. Okay.
So 50,
So-
just to
Yeah.
answer in more detail, I've been looking at my spreadsheet trying to do that while answering. To increase it to 50,000 over 8 years would increase their annual repayment on the loan to 6,778, which puts them kind of just below what their annual kind of cash flow reserves are. So it's on that borderline.
Yeah, that's fine, because I mean the correspondence I've had with them is that there's additional sources of revenue that they can invest in that other squash clubs and the like are using. So yeah, they seem pretty comfortable with it.
The extra 10,000, would that allow them to do something else to the building that would allow them to get extra income
Completely.
back to pay them?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's two different aspects which will get them a couple of thousand more a year. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Melanie?
Do you think, Sam, it might be better to make it over 10 years? Or do you think 8
I'm
years?
comfortable with 8.
Okay.
I mean, we've seen with other loans, if it becomes an issue, council has been pretty approachable around resetting terms, etc. And if future councils are of the same mind, then it wouldn't be an issue. But to help these orgs not be burdened with debt forever, it's good to, try and push it a bit short if we can.
Okay. Any further questions? No. Any debate?
Just
So
to
it's
say,
moved by
yeah.
Sam, seconded by Tim and Sam.
Yeah, just really briefly, I mean, to me, this is a really good example of how the council can enable the community. So, I mean, this virtually provides no cost to the ratepayer. There's, an interest which is higher than what we borrow it for, which enables them to partner with the Burnside Rugby Club and to, really get some tangible assets on effectively land that's ours. They've got a really proven track record, and as you'll know, I'm relatively conservative with this stuff, but the fact that I'm asking for an additional 10 grand on their behalf should give you some comfort that I don't think they're going to show up not being able to pay it back. So I'd be really grateful if everyone can support it.
Thanks, Sam. Anyone else? No, in that case, I'll put that. All in favour, please say aye. Aye. Any against? Declare that carried. Okay, so next moving to the discretionary